live here in a couple seconds. Takes a little while to update, so just kind of relax. Take a sip.
That's all I do all day is relax.
I know I laid down for about 10 minutes and back to work.
Clenny, you hear that? Ken had time to lay down for 10 minutes today.
Yep, that was it. It's my day off. Monday's my day off.
He must be rich.
Yeah, it's my day off. Us darn booksellers. We're working our butts off to lose money.
There are no days off.
All right, everybody. Welcome to episode 27 of Pick Our Brains. I believe we are officially live. Yep, 2727. I am Ken Gendeman with KG's Unique Rare and Antique Books, and he is Max Rubeck with Common Ground Finds. You can definitely check him out on eBay and whatnot. He's always doing some cool stuff.
And YouTube.
YouTube, Paper Gold Podcast. Where's your yellow sheet? You didn't make a new one yet?
Where's your yellow sheet? My yellow sheets are Post-it notes. All right, we just saw the back.
Saw my butt crack, probably. You
We're
can find me on
viral,
eBay.
everybody. We're gonna go viral.
Right.
We're gonna go
my
viral.
butt crack live on camera. Oh shoot, is that backwards?
No, you're good.
Okay. Animal Vet 52 on Whatnot and eBay, and then over on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I'm KG Grand Antique Books. Check out my Instagram. I love sharing off all the books in my personal collection, and occasionally trying to sell some stuff over there too.
You do a lot of stuff on Instagram. You showcase your new finds. You do.
Yep.
You open boxes live with people. You do some great stuff.
I do, but usually I show off my extra special books that I need to enjoy for a minute before they're available to the public for sale. So I get lots of disappointed people, and then it's a little bit frustrating because when I do have something for sale and someone will email me for a price, I will tell them a very reasonable price and they go silent or say, "Oh, sorry, more than I'm looking to spend." So it's frustrating when you put up good books, and I don't know if people think they're going to be $20, but they're not. So what? You look like you have something to say.
No, I mean, you just said you wanted to spend some time with your books. I was hoping that someone in the chat may ask, what does that actually mean, Kent?
It means I need to enjoy them and own them. It means I need to own them for usually a year, 2 or 3 before I'm mentally prepared to sell them. I'm a collector. I'm not a seller. I'm a collector.
Mentally prepared to sell them.
Yes. Hey, I sell beautiful books every day on eBay. $100, $200, $300 books. There's just some that have this little je ne sais quoi, whatever that means.
Wow. I mean, he's speaking French, everybody. Are we live yet? I mean,
we're live. We got 5 people watching.
I don't see it. I don't see it.
Uh-oh. Well, we're live. We have no comments yet.
Well, I can't see the chat today, but that's typical for today.
Uh-oh. That's okay. I'll keep you updated.
Yeah.
No one in the chat yet. If you're watching, feel free to say hi. Let us know where you're from. We're here to answer questions about book selling,
book buying, book sourcing.
Yep. Oh, Art Turner has a question. He's ready.
Already? My gosh, Art Turner.
He said.
What name is he under? What name is he under? He's got like 5 names already.
Data Productions Media. Everyone, go.
That's his 4th name today.
Yeah. Yep. He used to be Art Turner, and now he's Rare Books USA.
Okay.
You guys can check him out on eBay. Rare Books USA is his username. He sells some pretty darn cool stuff. And also check out his YouTube channel, Data Production. Okay. Art says, "Hey Max and Kent, I have a whatnot question off the bat." Oh no! You guys can check him out on eBay. Rare Books USA.
All right, I think I have the chat now.
Thank you for turning that down. Usually I force Max to wait 10 minutes before talking about whatnot because he will just talk about whatnot the whole show. But we'll get right into it. That's okay. So he says he has a question about whatnot.
Okay.
Do you add an additional weight per additional order from the same person called additional weight profile on whatnot settings? I've never even heard of that additional profile setting. I suppose when someone ends up buying a box, say they buy 10 $2 books or £2 books, your box is going to be 20 pounds, but if you have some packing materials, your packing materials can add a pound or two, though it uses ranges. So you're going to list books as 1 to 2 pounds, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. So some of those 2 pound books are going to weigh 1.2 ounces, 1.5 ounces, to the point where the packing materials, you'll still be underweight even with the packing materials. So I've never had to adjust unless I throw in some freebies. I have to adjust a little bit, but for the most part, just being accurate, weighing the books when you're setting up your auctions, you'll be fine without having to pay extra shipping.
Right. But also one of the great things that Whatnot does that we really never spoke about is they say range of 1 to 2 pounds or 2 to 3 or 3 to 4. They're giving you that extra pound more or less. So if you sell a 2 pound book and you sell a 2.5 pound book, they're giving you that beautiful range, and you don't have to be exact like you do on eBay or the Zon.
Yep. And I will say one of the things about Whatnot, as a buyer, one of the great things is I'm not overcharging you for shipping to
Right.
cover an ex. You, I suppose you can do that, but Whatnot is keeping all that money. So on eBay, me and Max both round up a pound or two. So we're charging an extra 50 cents, buck, $2, whatever. That'll cover a little bit of our shipping supplies, boxes and paper mailers and bubble wraps and stuff. On Whatnot, you're only charging exact because Whatnot's anything extra, Whatnot is keeping. I do kind of hope in the future that if I go to print a label and maybe someone has 20 pounds worth of books figured out with the Whatnot totals, if I round down to 15, that maybe Whatnot would give a refund either to the buyer or seller or split it or something. That would be kind of a cool feature.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
but right now there's an incentive to be really accurate with your weight and not overestimate. There's no benefit to overestimating.
Yeah, and I'm looking right now. I've sold over 12,000 items, and I've really only had a problem with under 10 of those out of 12,000 with shipping issues.
Yeah.
Um, so, Whatnot is clearly made shipping so easy. They were former eBay sellers. The people who started Whatnot were former eBay sellers, so they knew the frustrations of shipping via eBay. So I think that they definitely had lots of meetings to figure out how to make it easier. And how nice is it after a 2 hour show that you do, Kent, that you press print and all of your labels come out in one stream? I mean, they've really
Yep.
mastered it.
100%. I bought 3 of your buy it now listings the other day, and
Mm,
the first one it charged me like 550 for shipping. And then when I went to go buy that next one, you already had the weight. You don't need to make any kind of crazy rules on eBay on how you
right,
could buy shipping. The
right.
next one was a buck to extra shipping, and the next one was like 50 cents or 80 cents to
Mhm.
ship the third one. And same, if people don't aren't aware of Whatnot, when you buy the first book, it charges you full price for shipping, whatever, say a 3 pound book. And then maybe you buy another 3 pound book, it's going to be maybe $1.50 to ship that next book. And then Whatnot is automatically calculating, okay, this person's going to need a 10 pound label. This is what the additional shipping per item is going to be.
Right.
It's a really, really simple system they have.
Yeah, I think you and I are often surprised at how inconvenient sometimes eBay shipping can be, especially with international combined shipping. It's an hour-long process, for crying out loud.
No one knows how international eBay calculates it and kind of
Yeah,
throws when my international customers for eBay ask me, "Hey, do you combine shipping?" I say, the global shipping program is going to charge you. I believe they'll give you a
right,
discount, but I cannot guarantee it's going to save you anything
right.
because I
Yeah,
place
what I do is I usually cancel their listings or their sales, and I make a new listing for them
Yep.
all in
Yep.
one. So, I mean, but again, this is business. Things take time, but I'm just surprised eBay hasn't figured out the solution after all of these years yet. That's what surprises me.
And I suppose eBay would tell you that they give every seller the flexibility to create their own combined shipping policies.
Yeah,
So So maybe it's $1 for each one, or maybe you're paying half of the postage for so many orders if someone buys 5 buy it nows. But like Max, you have that issue when someone comes and makes buys 10 of your items, they pay full shipping, and then sometimes if they want, you have to send them a refund.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, and
or
I
you
do that.
can
I do that often.
you can go make combined shipping policies, but they're
Mhm.
not going to work for every situation. So
Right.
it's I don't know.
Yeah, but
It's not ideal.
that is the book business in the end. That is the book business. Did Art Turner have any more questions other than that?
Yes, he did. And Junkman says, books, heart, book emoji. So Junkman's in the chat. Uh, here's a great one from Art. He wants to know because Art is going to be running a show. He is Rare Books USA on Whatnot as well. He's going to be doing his first show. Is it May 8th or May 9th?
Ask him. He's in the chat.
Art, when is your first show? I think it's like the second week in May. Um, Art wants to know, can you explain what you do in the background, what you use to separate orders, sticky notes with the username,
Wow.
etc.
Great question.
Do you already put them in a box? So he has a
Great
few.
question.
Yep, I'll let you explain that.
Yeah. So I have boxes behind me that you cannot see. They're already taped on the bottom, but the lids are open. And when someone buys a book, lot number one, we write lot number one on the Post-it note. It goes on the book, and then it goes in a box. In larger letters, I write the name of the person on the inside of the box lid. So as that buyer buys more, I remember which is their box.
Yep.
So it's really just a row of boxes. You know, my Sunday show gets about 25 boxes. So there's a long line of boxes. And we just start putting the books that the buyer, because usually most people buy more than one. We put them in the box and then they get shipped the next day. I
Yep.
guess
And
I'll have to film that one day to show everybody behind the scenes.
now Max is how he's running things on some of his mystery shows is he's running, okay, lot one is 5 to 6 pounds. It's these three books for this
Right,
one.
right.
So I would say the reason I like to preload everything is people know lot number 7 is a copy of Pride and Prejudice with all the pictures. So then when I'm going to print my labels or send the invoice, it says lot 7 Pride and Prejudice. So when every item I sell, I just have to write the buyer name on it and put it on their pile and then just make piles with buyers' names.
Right.
I will say it is kind of a pain, especially when I'm running 60 or 70 lots, to have people's piles and try to remember, okay, where's so and so's pile? Do they already have a pile? Do they not have a pile? My memory is shot, so it takes me a second to find people's piles and then to remember whether or not they even had a pile.
Right.
And whatever, if we make 2 different piles for the buyer, it's okay because when you go to print the label, it's going to say they have 7 orders combined.
Right. And now my Saturday Faith Farm show is I have help at Faith Farm. So it doesn't take a lot of work for me to hand the books off and get them in the right section. Sundays, usually Clenny is here to take the books from me and put them in the boxes. But Clenny, although she's walking by me right now, hasn't been here for 2 Sundays in a row. And so I've had to run both those Sunday shows by myself. And it takes a little bit more work because once I make a sale, I have to go find the box it's supposed to go in before I run the next set of books. But I can't see the chat, but just let Art know that that he'll figure out the system that works best for him. And if you're doing a lot of 20 books or a lot of 30, something under 40, it's very manageable. But I think once you get over 40, that's when you really have to start thinking logistically how to do it.
Yeah, like I had 26 buyers my last show. So there's 26 piles. I have a 3-level rolling cart next to me that I put piles on, but then that gets full pretty quick. So then I'm piling on the floor, piling on the chairs next to me. It's a little bit chaotic to keep things straight, but
I don't remember you ever having a problem with a mismanaged lot ever on Whatnot.
Nope. I've had pretty good luck, especially with preloading the items. It's almost impossible when you go to someone's. It says they have 7 books.
And
Yeah.
as silly as it sounds, I think post-it notes is the answer to everything with Whatnot,
Mhm.
because
Yep.
as long as you write the lot number on it, you're good.
And I will say, one of the hints I used to write in little pen, and then it's really hard to find them. Write them in marker, write them nice and big. That
Don't,
they're easier to
don't be
find them.
afraid. Don't be
Yep.
afraid.
Yep. Art Turner says that his show is May 8th, which do you know what May 8th is?
May 8th, something about Star Wars.
No, it's my birthday.
Oh.
May 4th is May the
Yeah,
4th,
Star
anyways.
Wars. Weren't you Chewbacca?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was Chewbacca in the original.
Let me hear your imitation of Chewbacca.
No, let me hear yours. I know the sound he makes, but I don't want to make a fool of myself right now. um, Art
Wait,
Turner
wait.
says, yes, this is valuable information. It's the magic behind the scenes. And he says, please film. I like that idea. Um, maybe we both should do that, is have cameras set up next
Well,
to
you've
us
been
during.
telling me this for months. You've been telling me to have somebody film me. You've been telling me for months. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just got a GoPro. I haven't opened the box yet. So uh
You were so
I mean,
excited about that GoPro.
it would be really cool to film your whole show and post that, and just people can hear you and show how you have the camera. Because
Mhm.
oh, another hint, get a little cheap
Oh
camera
yeah.
stand. They're like 15 bucks. Um, and then see how me and Max both do it is we have the camera filming that way, and you can have the camera facing you and showing off the books this way. There's plenty of people that are live on camera showing the books off a little something like this. They're standing in front of the camera and showing them off. Me and Max both choose to face outwards. We're not narcissistic, so we don't need to
Well,
be on.
we don't I mean, let's be honest with everybody. We don't want to blind them with our beauty. We want them to
Yeah,
focus on the
yeah,
books
fair
and
enough.
not just be jaw dropping and drooling at the beauty of us as booksellers.
Yeah, I mean, if you have some nice cleavage, it could be
Wow.
better.
You're going in that direction?
I'm saying there are some beautiful women on Whatnot selling Pokemon, and they do very well. Very well. They wear fishnets and low hanging shirts, shall we say?
My God. I can't believe you went there.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna film in the next couple weeks. Me and Max will both film how we do it.
Yes.
Oh, Junkman wants to know, can I find a girlfriend on Whatnot? Well, if you tip her big enough, she will blow you kisses and talk nicely to you.
Wow. Look at you, Kent.
Sorry, we're going in a bad
You had a good nap today, huh?
direction. Okay. Junkman says, I joined Whatnot seller group on Facebook and I'm learning a bunch and have never opened the app. I've never even looked at. I'm sure there's some great
I'm in.
Whatnot.
I'm in one. There's lots of Whatnot sellers groups, but I'm in one or two of them.
Yep.
Most people just they show all the boxes they're shipping. It's a really great promotional tool for Whatnot.
Hmm.
Maybe they're broadcasting or showing their future show, but it's a lot of boxes being shipped out.
Yeah. Junkman says that a lot of the discord in these groups seems to be catty and rude among the sellers. Maybe the lack of tact in the age of majority. Yeah, it is a competitive market. There's people, I used to feel like I don't want to go at a certain time because I don't want to step on anyone's feet, and I wouldn't go at the same time as Max, but sometimes you're going to overlap with people and there's not too much you can do. You do kind of have to fight over viewers, but unless you're selling, there's times that two Playboy sellers will be going at the same time and kind of that's a market that they're fighting over the same buyers, I suppose.
And in reality, they should communicate and not and follow each other like you and I do on Sundays, which has been extraordinarily successful. Even though you and I had some doubts before the first time we did that, but we've had zero doubts since then. And we've done it 3 or 4 weeks in a row now with
Yep.
you going before me on a Sunday. I'm actually, I said this to you the other day. I'm wondering why none of the paper golders are following me, sort of make a little unscheduled raid train out of it.
Yep. Especially with your Monday shows that are usually strict half hour, 10 items, nice and quick.
Yep.
That would be an easy one to follow.
Yeah.
Me, I'm gonna try to schedule my Tuesday show or no, sorry, my Sunday morning show to line up with yours
Right.
because like this week I have 65 items. I know that's going to take about 2 hours and you'll be starting 2 hours after me. So I can kind of adjust my speed the last 10, 15 minutes to make sure you're going to be live and starting soon.
But beyond that, you even did a pop-up show in the last week, and you had
Mhm.
an incredible number of people in your pop-up show. And I know that you had some trepidation about how many people would show up. And
Yep.
I think it went beyond your expectations.
Yeah, I think once you get a little bit of a following, there's a certain amount of people that are going to get the notification ding that, oh, Animal Vet 52 is live and just go check it out. And then there's also people that are at the in the book category looking around, looking for a show to go
Mhm.
to and find you that way. And I think if you put up good items, if you say, hey, I'm selling Easton Press or Stephen King or some good sci-fi, you will get people to come into your show and stick around. I think that's what it's all about is getting people to come to your show and stick around. If you're taking a 5 minute bathroom break, you're gonna lose your whole crowd. You just are. Like you need to keep people's
Yeah,
attention and keep them
it's
interested that hey, I
yeah.
get to bid on something.
You are, while you're live, you are battling keeping people interested. Although we don't really talk about that. We always say,
Mhm.
oh, just have good books. But you have to have some sort of charismatic ability to talk to people and chat with people and not just describe a book, but to make jokes and laugh. And they're watching you in replacement of watching Netflix and TV.
Yep.
And you have to sort of be a personable, charismatic seller.
Yeah. And I'm not always. Sometimes I'm awkward and make bad jokes. I would say,
Like you
but
just did earlier.
I don't remember what the bad joke was. Junkman says Ocho de Mayo is the 8th of May. I don't know if that's a special thing. I do know it's a Thursday this week. I think I'm
Isn't
celebrating.
there something with Star Wars in May?
That's May. I told you that's May 4th. May the 4th be with you.
Oh, may the fourth be with you. Okay.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So that's a Star Wars day. Oh, I already said, can Junkman find a girlfriend and whatnot? Possibly, but it won't be cheap.
Right. He may have to keep just bidding. He just may have to keep bidding.
Yeah. Junkman says as a charismatic book peddler with a face for radio. Okay, yep, yeah, I have a face for radio. I don't care to be on screen. Plus, I don't know. I think it would be really difficult to show off a book like this and say, okay, we have a Micronauts, the New Voyages, and then you're gonna open it up and look at the date and like try to show it. I feel like this is really difficult to show off. Whereas if the camera's facing the other way, you just got your hands in the book and you're looking at
Right.
the camera. And so it's just very easy to do it with the camera facing the other way. I think it'd be, I know there's lots of people. What do you think? Are half of people live on camera?
Oh, I don't know, half. I would say definitely a third. Um,
Yeah.
there are some people who use it to their advantage, and then there's some people who use it, and it's not that they're not about looks or anything. It's just in the end, you're selling books. You're not selling yourself. And like you just described or showcased, you want good angles on the books. And, you know, to me, showcasing that book on the carousel like I do, that's just the best way to showcase the book.
Hmm. Yeah, very cool looking thing.
Yeah.
We got Ryan M. Dryer in the chat.
I tell him I need more pictures of the bookstore. I want to see the progress.
Yes,
I'm tired of
Ryan.
waiting.
Ryan, we need updates. We need
I'm
at least
tired of
twice
waiting.
a week. We need updates and photos.
He teased me with that great picture of the brick wall, and that's the last time I saw any pictures of the bookstore.
Did he post a picture in the of a brick wall? I didn't see it.
In his new store. Yeah, it's
Oh,
beautiful.
I didn't see
Exposed
it. I
brick.
didn't see it. Okay.
Exposed brick. Very long not a hallway, but a very long way with the just beautiful. And he teased me with that, and I haven't seen anything since. Hate it.
Okay. Our Turner says we need to double back to discount manager on eBay. Are you talking about that on Thursday?
We do have a guest speaker on Thursday, but I am scheduled to do discount manager. Yes.
The guest speaker is a Amazon person, right?
No, Amazon and eBay and their own site, they
Okay.
multiple platform seller.
So what's your strategy for Discount Manager? Are you doing sales a week long sales and then they're ending and then you're starting them over so people think
Yeah, I usually run them for about 10 days. The same time you do auctions, I run sales.
because then people can see that oh it's 25% off and this sale
Right,
ends in 2 days or whatever.
right,
So it kind
right.
of gives them the immediacy of this sale isn't going to last forever.
Yeah, I don't run them for too long, but I know some people they run them for 2 or 3 days only.
Yeah. Yep.
But when you have 15,000 plus in inventory, 2 or 3 days is not enough. Um, and with the amount of people who save me as a seller, which is in the thousands, you want to give apropos time to your people all over the world to be able to see what you're doing. So I feel like 10 days is enough. And I'm rarely running a 10% sale. I'm 20, 30 to 40, depending on how old the inventory is. Um, but I just think it's become too saturated to run a 10% sale. It doesn't do anything anymore. There's no juice to that anymore. And so you got to go at least 15 to 20% to get people's attention.
Yeah, I've been saying that for a while that people are kind of numb to the most buy it now sellers on eBay, no matter what they're selling, they mark it up and then do 25 or 30 or 50. There's plenty that do 50% off.
Mhm.
They just double the price and then do
Right.
50% off so people think they're getting a deal, but I don't think that's fooling anyone. I really don't
Buyers,
think it's fooling.
buyers know. Buyers
I
know.
think you would be better off listing it at a really competitive price and doing no sale. I
Right.
think would be just as I think in today's market, though some people are going to lowball you still, they're still going to ask 40% off it.
But that's the
They're
business.
not.
That's the business we're in. We can't complain about the business we're in. I mean, people are going to be people.
I mean, I don't do many buy it nows at this point, but I haven't ran a discount on my buy it nows yet since I started building them up a little bit
Right.
here several months ago. I'm just going to do full price, and if people want to make me an offer, they can. I really um the steep discounts on eBay aren't fooling anyone because people are used to someone's asking $100 for this book. I'm going to offer them 50 and they might take it or they might counter off at 75 or 90. And you kind of gotta feel people out when you're making them an offer to see how flexible they are with that price.
Right.
I offered someone, I think they were asking $100 for a set of books and I offered them 60 and they took it. No counter, they just took it. 40% off. So then you're gonna set some people, but
Right. But
some people are
some people just like to move books.
people just are that flexible. They
Yeah.
just mark it up knowing people are gonna know. And us as sellers, we kind of have to play that game whether we're gonna.
Okay, you're good now. Your volume went out.
Oh, sorry about that.
It's
Okay.
fading. Yeah.
Yeah, you just gotta play that game of as a seller to figure out whether you're gonna overprice, but people know you're overpriced on everything and they're gonna lowball you, or do you want to be more competitive and only take a little bit off when people are
Right.
going to make you offers.
But again, this we can't ignore this. This goes back to how did you buy? Did you buy smartly, and you can accept deeper discounts because you're already in the profit, or do you
Yep.
have tight margins? You and I never
Hmm.
buy for tight margins. We've never had tight margins.
Oh,
We always make our money on the buy, and we know that we can be in the profit probably after the first week of listing and selling.
I think it's just a bad idea to pay up for inventory. You're better off not buying it. If you're gonna if there's a $500 set of books, I don't think you should be paying more than 150 for it. Unless you really want it in your inventory, because it's gonna take forever to sell, and then
Mhm.
someone you're in 5 years from now, you're gonna end up taking a steep discount if you want to get it sold. So you really can't afford to pay up. Um, Ryan said that he put some pictures in the Paper Gold Discord. I'll have to check that out. I don't follow all the hashtags. It's probably in the brick and mortar hashtag, I would assume.
Yeah.
He says that he had a leak in from the apartment above on Saturday. Thank goodness nothing was below it. He will post a video later.
Yeah, but
Um,
Ryan should just turn that into a positive and just say he has waterproof books.
yeah, sure, you could do that. You can post long videos in Discord. I think like 10 seconds seems to be the max for
Mhm.
posting videos in Discord. And Donnelly's in the chat. They say paying a little more on eBay is still better than some of the auction premiums in the auction houses. Yep.
Great point.
Live Auctioneer, most of the people selling on Live Auctioneer are going to charge you like a 25 or 30% buyer's premium. There's a few that I think Scott Skibb out of where's he from? Utah, I think. He charges zero buyers premium, which is great. I mean that those 25 and 30% buyers premiums are killer.
And he always sells out his inventory.
Yep. Starts them at a buck or $10 or whatever it is for multi-$100 items. Um, he really has utilized he does eBay auctions and I assume he has his own website. But he's really utilized the live auctioneer market. Me and you talked about doing that, but we're so busy with eBay and whatnot auctions that don't really have time to figure that into our repertoire. Look at me saying all these French words.
Yeah, I mean, what did you watch a French film last night?
Heck no.
You have French fries for lunch? I mean, what's going on?
No, nope, nothing. I don't nope, haven't done anything French lately. Um, Data, Art Turner says, an interesting situation I think about. Do you think collectible American military items will lose value over time as the world changes? I feel like 10 to 15 years from now, the market could change. What do you think on American military items?
Always good.
Yep, yep. There's always going to be collectors, whether they're interested in the Civil War, Vietnam, or just military in general. You're always going to have military members that want to collect that stuff. American history buffs are always into it. And actually, that's what I think Art Turner is going to be selling some military
Yeah.
manuals on whatnot.
Whether the world changes or not, it's always going to be a good subject. The nicher, the better. We already know that.
The nichier, the better. I
The
think you
nichier, the
coined that
better.
word. Yep.
Um,
I
but
I don't what I'm trying to think. I don't know what market will really slow down. The one I think me and Max are both hesitant to we would never invest in is the modern books, the
right.
limited editions and the sprayed edges. That like is just the hottest darn selling thing. People are going crazy over them. Like Fourth Wing, the one with the sprayed edges was a $30-$40 book for a first edition. Now it's 400 or 500 because the second or third one in the series came out. I don't know if they're doing Netflix or a
Mhm.
movie about it or anything, but like right now it's peaking out at 300, $400, $500. I That's not going to be a American literature classic that holds that $400 or $500 value. I don't think so. There's
Yeah,
no way.
you can get it for $30 in another 18
Yep.
months.
Yep. The only modern literature I would say that has held it is Harry Potter. I think will always
Right.
maintain very well. Uh,
Anything that gets made into a film, anyone who wins the Nobel Prize, the Pulitzer Prize, the National Book Award, the Penn
yeah.
Faulkner Award, anyone who wins the awards and gets made into films, those are who you want to collect.
Yep.
Those will be the ones that people want 10 years from now.
Yeah. I think if it holds those high prices for 5 or more years, it's gonna always
Mhm.
because there's the historical selling data. Like Dune, I think is gonna always maintain crazy prices. First editions are thousands of
Yeah.
dollars.
And even, as long as they keep making the films, there's always going to be
Yep.
the interest.
Yep. Absolutely.
I mean, when that Barbie movie came out, you couldn't, if you, anything you had Barbie sold on eBay, anything.
Yeah.
Now you can't give it away again. Now the market just deflated itself.
Yep, yeah. It's you definitely don't want to get caught up in those trends unless you cash in quick and make a quick profit.
Right.
When I wouldn't invest long term into some of those things. Art Turner says I have an investor's mindset and believe World War II stuff may not be as valuable as they've been in the past. The really cool stuff will sell, but the average, I don't think so. What do you think? World War II
No,
stuff?
the longer we get away from that war chronologically, and the less stuff that's around and already in collectors' hands makes the other stuff that hasn't been sold makes it appreciate in value. So I sort of disagree with Art. Um, you know, World War II, anything from Pearl Harbor, anything, a military jacket from World War
But
II.
you know what? My generation doesn't remember anything about World War II, and neither does yours, except for your parents talking about growing up in that era.
Right.
My generation more knew about the Iraq War and maybe the end of the Vietnam War.
Right.
Um,
But I wasn't around during the Civil War, but I know that if I found a rifle from the Civil War, that it would command some money. So it's militaria, which is what they call. I mean, there are auction houses that specifically just sell militaria.
Yep. I will say that the some of the I've heard interviews with some of the booksellers that have been around for um 20 or 30 years. They say that the Civil War book market is dying. And maybe that is true. You remember the old like history of the Pennsylvania 117th
Sure.
Cavalry
Mhm,
books that have the rosters and the whole
mhm.
history of the different regiments. Those markets may die off because it's all digitalized and you can buy reprints for 20 bucks. Why pay 150 for an original
Right.
copy?
Because people still like to hold the book. They still like to look at their, if it's genealogical, they like to
Yeah.
have that book.
Yeah, if their great grandparent, if
Right.
they can find their great grandpa's name in one of those books. But that's kind of stuff may dip off. But like as far as like just general antique Civil War history books, I think that market is
Correct.
hot. The old timers, I don't know. Maybe they just got crazy prices back in the day, and now they're realizing that stuff is common, and there's 20 copies where they used to have the only one.
Mhm.
So maybe, but as far as me and you can tell, like American history stuff and American military stuff. Um, but you know what? I think Art is right that the highs in the market are going to hit record prices. The average and low stuff may cool off a little bit just because it's becoming more common.
Mhm.
And these old collectors, how many 25 and 30-year olds are do you think there are that have 20,000 military history books? Probably not too many, but there's lots of old guys that are getting to the point of letting their collections go. And I don't think there's too many people my age that are so materialistic that they just want a warehouse full of that stuff.
Well,
Or
if they're gonna let it go, please give me a call. I'll answer your phone call.
I think Art Turner is right. I mean, I don't know if the younger generations are hoarding massive amounts of books like some of the older generations that wanted every military history book and all the rare ones and could pay $1,000 for a rare one. But we'll see. I think people still want books because of the nostalgia. Um, no,
They've been telling me for years people don't buy books. They've been telling it to me for years.
yeah, yep.
They don't know.
Art says that Harry Potter is here to stay now. Yep, 100%. Art, Harry Potter will always be huge. Junkman wants to know, did you ever sell at an event, a pop-up, a Renaissance fair, farmer's market, gun show, rock show? No. But our friend Phil, the book peddler, he has sold at gun shows and maybe some other events. Um, and if you go to a gun show, take all your hunting, fishing, outdoors books,
Right.
maybe some of your local history stuff. And actually, we have a person in the Paper Gold group
Mhm.
that bought a bus and sells modern fiction, the hottest selling
At
novels
farmers
today.
markets. Yeah.
Yep, yep. He takes this bus to farmers markets and craft fairs and stuff and does absolutely amazingly well. And I think there's more people. If I had more time, I would probably consider it, but I don't have time and I
Yeah,
got to be. And so
they
it's
have
not.
an Instagram page. I think it's Books for Ages or Books for All Ages on Instagram, and you can follow their bus, and they take you along on the ride. Um, there's Latin Pickers. It's Adam and Christian brothers. Great booksellers, just great booksellers, and not afraid to try something new and pioneer a new way to sell books. And they're doing it now out of a bus.
Yep. Oh, it's Books for Ages Bookmobile. There we go. I
Books
wanted
for
to.
Ages Bookmobile, yeah. And they bought a bus for some few $1,000s, converted it, and made a mobile bookstore out of it, and it is the most beautiful thing.
Yep. Junkman, also, this is a good point. I was thinking about the Pope or about Pope books last week. Now he's dead. Yep, sorry to hear the Pope passed away, but it would probably be a really good time to sell books about popes and the history of the popes and this current Pope, with his passing. Art says that he
Will you be in the running for the next Pope?
Yes. I just got my bishopship, and yep, my bishopship, and will be putting my name in the hat. Watch for the white smoke coming out of the Vatican. I think the white smoke means they chose a new pope.
I hope that's what it means. I hope that's what it means.
Didn't you watch the Da Vinci Code?
No.
Oh, well, they have to choose a new pope in that movie. So Art Turner says that he loves the discussions like this. Yeah, me and Max are probably one of the few people that, well, we may be the only people that are talking about selling books online and just
weekly.
Yep, I think so.
In conversation. People
Yeah.
do it on a YouTube channel, but not in a podcast format of conversation.
Yep. And we like answering questions.
And if you'd like to be on the show with us, send us a message. And
Yeah.
we'd love to have you on as a guest.
Yep.
Fellow book resellers.
Junkman says there will always be professors and authors getting material. Yep. Yep. Professors love to hoard that stuff in their chosen field. They love to hoard it.
Yes, they do. I've interviewed so many professors in the Destination Unknown videos, and they all have a stash of what they love.
Yeah. And us as resellers, it's a great place to, when they pass away or move, they have lots and lots. Junkman says, I got lots of great books at the Catholic Church yard sale, Latin books from a professor. Yep. Churches can be a great, I think it was last fall, I cleaned out 150 boxes.
Is that long ago?
Yeah, it was last fall. I rented a U-Haul. There was a little bit of snow on the ground at that point. I rented a U-Haul and loaded up 150 boxes of books. They had a whole room with probably 15 shelves, big tall shelves full of books that they never used, and they were going to turn the room into the choir area, or to hang the robes for the choir. Oh. I was very, very blessed to get that collection. And again, religious books are one of my better sellers on eBay. It kind of depends what denomination, but I always do very well with antique religious books. What do you think? You got anything else to add? Any last minute questions?
No, I think that I've been thinking about having us bring on a guest speaker. I'll talk with you later about it.
Okay.
And sort of
you
shake
have a
things up.
specific one in mind?
We're always talking eBay and whatnot, and I want to give Amazon a little bit of love too.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking of having a guest speaker on with us, who is a very large Amazon seller, and is newly getting into eBay and whatnot. So it's a flip of what we do, and I think it would be a great three-way conversation. So I'll bring that up with you, and so we may have a special guest next week.
Oh, that'd be great. Well, I'll have to promote it a little bit if we can get that scheduled.
Yeah, I'll know by tomorrow.
Because Max, definitely, you know the ins and outs of Amazon. I ask you questions about it all the time. I don't have the slightest idea what's going on at Amazon, but you definitely know the ins and outs. You can answer the questions, but it'd be cool to have a special guest. All right. Well, another great episode. I don't see any last minute questions rolling in.
I can't see the chat. How many people did we have about?
We had up to 12.
12 people. Okay.
Yep.
But M. Donnelly and Art Turner and Junkman are the only three with questions.
Ryan said hi.
Ryan.
Yep.
So 8 people who were just coming on in and not chatting with us.
Max, the spies are in the chat.
All right.
Junkman says thanks. All right. Thank you, everyone. We really appreciate you. We'll see you next Monday night. Thank you all.